We present Kenneth Williams, Derek Nimmo, Sheila Hancock and Bernard Cribbins.
And the subject, Derek, is customs. Can you tell us something about that in just a minute, starting now?
I really do loathe going through customs sheds when one arrives in this country. One always feels extraordinarily guilty for some totally obscure reason, generally because one has rather too much wine, perhaps, in the bottom of one's case. I don't know whether you've heard the story of a man who was recently in the courts and he'd been discovered with 625 watches. The barrister who was prosecuting said, how have the customs official actually discovered it? And apparently there had been undue turbulence on this particular aeroplane, and when the man had got off at all these particular timepieces, which was self-winding...
Sheila Hancock has challenged you.
Well, it's too particulars. Let's hear the end of the story.
Oh, it doesn't matter. No, it's just that, you see, he'd got all these, they were all self-winding watches, and because of the turbulence on the aeroplane, they all started ticking. So when he got off, it was like a nest of hornets, apparently.
Anyway, Sheila challenged with 23 seconds to go, and her challenge was correct, so she gets a point for that, and she takes over the subject now of customs, starting now.
Different countries have their...
Oh, Derek Nimmo challenged. Yes, it does. So, Derek, you've got the subject back. Try and keep us entertained for 19 seconds with customs, starting now.
If you go to New Guinea, they have the most extraordinary fertility rites.
Sheila Hancock has challenged.
Deviation.
Why?
Well, it obviously was going to be. I just wanted to stop it being embarrassing.
Nothing devious about fertility.
Well, the way you were talking about it was devious.
It might be devious in thought and idea, but he wasn't deviating from the subject of customs, so I'm afraid it's a wrong challenge, Sheila. And Derek gets another point, and there are 14 seconds on customs, Derek, starting now.
In the middle of the Australian desert, they recently found some Aboriginal tribesmen who had never seen another human being before. And when they were taken back to Darwin and...
Bernard Cribbins.
Deviation, because they must have seen each other. That is another human being.
Bernard, you get a point for that, and 6 seconds to take over the subject of customs, starting now.
In the north of England, there are very many strange customs which go back to the Middle Ages and to the pagan rituals.
Lovely subject. Why elephants can't jump? Will you tell us something about that in the game, starting now?
I suppose the most obvious reason why elephants are unable to jump is because they're really too heavy. And also, they do have to carry this large trunk with them, which, as you know, could contain a lot of clothing, heavy weights, furniture, sand, rocks, bits of granite, boulders, anything of this sort, which would obviously restrict their height from the ground if they put a great physical, muscular effort into raising themselves above the aforementioned terra firma.
Derek Nimmo challenged.
But...
No, it was the was in
Thank you,
terra.
Derek.
It was terra firma. So there were two. The were in the terra and the firma. And Bernard, you keep the subject for an incorrect challenge. Another point, of course. And 29.5 seconds left, starting now.
Another reason that elephants are unable...
Derek Nimmo challenged.
There is no reason.
Yes, you did mention the word reason before.
Did I?
I'm sorry.
I've lost my reason, yes.
There are 27 seconds. No, 28. Why elephants can't jump with you, Derek, starting
I know
now.
Mr. Bernard Cribbins has been up to Candy in Ceylon and has seen the elephants bathing in the beautiful river
Kenneth
there.
Williams has challenged.
Yes, I thought there was a bit of hesitation there.
I think you'd be right, too.
I'm afraid there was.
So you take over the subject of why elephants can't jump. And 23 seconds, starting now.
Well, elephants can jump, and I don't know why this statement as to their inability was ever made. Whoever did obviously is nothing of a zoologist, but I, even with my limited amount of knowledge on the subject, can assure you that they will, and if necessary, if...
Sheila Hancock has challenged.
Well, deviation, he's not talking about why elephants can't jump.
He's talking about why they can jump.
Yes.
So I agree, that's a very good challenge, Sheila. And there are 6 seconds for you on why elephants can't jump, starting now.
Well, it's probably because they don't want to. I mean, if I was an elephant, I don't...
Derek Nimmo has
I think
challenged
he's
you.
absolutely right. I mean, it's a totally wrong question. If we've got a question which is a falsehood, I mean, elephants can jump.
Of course they can.
Well, it doesn't have to do with me. Don't
but
look
you're
at
making
me.
a statement, are you not, Mr. Parsons? Why elephants...
There must
But
be
if
something...
elephants can jump, I mean, it's like saying, why can't Nicholas Parsons speak? We all know he speaks endlessly about...
I didn't think it'd be long
So
before
what-
we were nick-baiting.
I agree, yes, and I'm always very suspicious when he calls me Mr. Parsons, too. What is your challenge, Mr. Nimmo?
But then the question doesn't make sense.
That's got nothing to do with me.
Zoologically, it's incorrect.
And we haven't got time to discuss it with Ian Messiter. He thought of a subject, why elephants can't jump, and that is the subject you're asked to talk about. And Sheila was doing it very well. She has another point and 2 seconds left, Sheila. Why elephants can't jump, starting now.
Probably the elephants that Ian sees don't jump.